بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first edition of the Sunday Race Club. This is our women's race today. We've just got done with the men's, so now we're moving on to the women's. So nice of you all to join us for today's stage. Today, distance 35 kilometers, 7 segments overall. The first 5 segments are going to be in the 1 kilometer range, and then the last 2, those are going to be our 5K stages. Of course, it's going to be the same for our men's with a total elevation gain of 640 meters above sea level. As you can see in the first few stages there, or segments there, that's where most of the climbing is going to be done. After segment 4, they'll come down, start to roll a little bit downhill, and then back up and have a little bit of a false flat, rolling through segment somewhere 7, and then to the overall finish line. It's going to be a good segment today. It's going to be more of like a time trial segment, but there is drafting, so that's great. So moving on to our riders for Team Spartan Obstacles, we have Catherine Fuhr, Carolina, and Maria. And for Team Las Colombias, Rosalina Bargan, Dorency Gonzalez, and Sora Geraldo. For Strong Girls, we have Faye Faber, Fiona Schroeder, Lydia, Lisa Bromell, and Madonna Decan. And for CM Team Women team, we have Andrea Alzate, Sandra Melena Valencia, Stefani Sanchez, Maria Jose Galeo, and Paula Latrigla. And as always, my sincere apologies for any mispronunciations. For our individual riders today, we have Golden Light, Julia, Eveline, Jessica M., Sophia Estrada, Dana Hawthorne, and Angie Solorzano. So now, ladies, have just about 3 minutes to go before they start the first edition of the Sunday Race Club. This was an interesting stage for our men's race just previous. Right off the gate, there was a lot of attacks, a lot of high wattage numbers. So we'll see what our women have in store. Total of 21 racers with us today. Really good showing for our ladies. I think over on the men's side, we only had about 16 or 17. So nice to have a few more. We'll have to see what the main peloton does, see if it breaks up into any packs. If it does, it might start to happen around, maybe around segment 4. Hard to say, of course. But just about 2 minutes to go. We'll go ahead and let the ladies warm up a bit and then come back before the start of the race. So here we go. Just now, 30 seconds to go to the start of our women's race here. Really nice to see most of you guys back after our Winter Solstice Championship. And really going to be fun to see what you guys can do for today's Sunday Race Club. Eyes on Melina Valencia so far. Sitting still, looking good. I'm just kidding. We're going to have to watch Melina Valencia because, as you know from the women's Winter Solstice Championship, she was snagging up segments left and right with her late attacks from the back of the pack. So now that we're off, really strong start from our ladies here. Faye Faber up there, of course. Lisa Bromell and Catherine. Everybody's sticking nice together so far. Pack's getting a little strung out, but I'm sure they're going to get kind of bunched up. There is drafting involved today, so it'd be smart to sit in for a little bit. Don't make any crazy moves right from the start line. We'll be approaching our segment 1 start, just about 2 kilometers. So we'll have to see who gives it a go. We got a lot of ladies from Colombia today. They pretty much were the dominant country for the Winter Solstice Championship. A lot of strong cyclists from that country. Up at the front, we have Lisa Bromell and Faye Faber. Got to ride with Lisa Bromell for 0.02 seconds yesterday around the Yas Marina circuit. I was doing some intervals. Not sure what she was doing. She was going way faster than me, but it was nice that she stopped for 0.3 seconds and continued on her way. So they're doing a really good job controlling the front of the pack so far. Just inside a kilometer to go to our first segment. And we have Julia making an early breakaway from the pack. 2 seconds back from 2 seconds ahead there of Lisa Bromell, followed by Carupe. Interesting early tactic there by Julia. Still putting out over 300 watts. Not even to the start of segment number 1. She wants to roll through that line real fast. So the start of segment number 1 up ahead in Julia Chalou's sights. Julia from Germany now has 4 seconds on the peloton here. Not showing any signs of slowing down, still putting out over 316 watts here. Her solo speed, 42 kilometers per hour as she's coming through the start line. But the pack speed is still 42, 43 as well. So now with everybody through, Julia's still off the front, 5 seconds ahead of our pack leader, Lisa Bromell from Germany. She's going to try to hunt down her fellow German. They have a nice little punchy climb here. This can take a little bit out of you pretty early on. So now Lisa holding her position at the front of the pack there. In good company there with Carupe. We also have Fiona Schroeder up there as well. But currently it's all eyes on Julia, who's still off the front. The 5-second gap has now turned into 9 seconds. 10, just as I say it. Still holding 300 watts plus. So by the looks of it, she will take the overall time for segment 1. But of course, we have to see when everybody else comes through and finishes. But by the looks of things, she's had the highest watts for the longest period of time over this 1 kilometer segment. So now through the line goes Julia, and here comes the rest of the pack. We'll have to recheck the timesheet once everybody else kind of rolls through here. We can get a good average. So now the main peloton group coming through. And so far it is Julia, as expected, to take that segment 1 for individual riders. Second place, Karupe, Spartan Obstacles. Third place from Germany, Lisa Brommel for Strong Girls. And fourth place, teammate Faith Aber and Fiona Schroeder. That's rounding out our top 5 for segment number 1. Now the girls can have a short break of 2Ks before they start segment number 2, coming up at the 5-kilometer mark. It's a very interesting tactic by Julia from Germany. She has now put 20 seconds on the pack. We'll have to see if she can maintain that. So now back with our peloton, which is currently our chase group. Not sure when they're going to catch up to Julia or if they will. But for now, this is our chase pack. We got all the big names up in there. Lisa Brommel, Fiona Schroeder, Faith Aber from Great Britain, Dorancy, Sophia Estrada, Jessica, all really good riders here with us today, and all who took part in our Winter Solstice Championship. So it's super nice to have all you guys back with us for the new Sunday Race Club. So now just 700 meters to go, 600 meters until segment number 2. Another 1-kilometer segment coming up. All the ladies looking comfortable in the pack here, keeping each other in their sights. We'll see who's going to be the real segment hunters. I suspect Melina Valencia will be hunting down some segments. So now 100 meters to go to the start of segment number 2. Ladies are sticking together quite nicely, almost like they're out for a Sunday cruise. And off we go through the start line. The pace of the pack here is pretty normal. No real moves happening just yet. Of course, it's only 200 meters into this 1-kilometer segment. So now we're at the 500-meter mark. But if you're Julia from Germany, you are coming through the finish of segment number 2. But what really matters is this pack of ladies here. Anybody can take the segment away from Julia if they start to launch an attack here pretty soon. So approaching the finish line now, segment number 2. No crazy breakaways from this pack just yet. So Julia will probably hold on to that segment 2 overall. We'll go ahead and see the times. So second place, Jessica, one of our individual riders. And for CM Women team, Andrea Anzalti with a total time of 1 minute and 51. Fourth place, Faye Faber for Strong Girls, and Dorancy from Las Colombias rounding out our top 5 for segment number 2. So coming up next, segment number 3, starting at the 8-kilometer point. Ladies can settle back into their pack now. Still only 6.3 kilometers into our 35-kilometer stage today. So there's a lot that can change. Nice to see everybody sticking together, even though there was a massive attack there by Julia. But as you can see, we're approaching stage number 3. It is going to be more of a climbing stage. And at the last segment there, number 4, we'll round off our climbing for today. After that, it's all downhill in the best way possible. I mean that, of course. But it's going to be lightly downhill and then some false flats climbing back up, but relatively flat for the rest of today's stage. So just about 1,300 meters to the start of our third segment. Nice to see everybody sticking together, not really going after Julia. She's well off in front. And if she can hold this, then she'll definitely win today's overall stage. Or she could blow up. Who knows? So now 800 meters to go. Segment number 3 up ahead for our group of ladies here. Currently being led out by Catherine, Fiona, Carupe, Sophia Estrada, Faye Faber. Everybody's jockeying for position right now. Nobody's really taking the lead. Smart thing to do this early on is just stick with the group. If you have energy for a segment win, great, but stick with the pack. Get some drafting. That way you have a good chance of getting a good overall result. And through the start line we go. Segment number 3, 1 kilometer segment again, of course. We'll see who starts to up the pace of our pack here. So far, we have Catherine from Switzerland with Julie, or excuse me, Fiona, Faye Faber. It's jumping around so much because you guys are all so close together. They're all cruising pretty good. No crazy heart rates just yet. 500 meters to go now to the end of segment number 3. Starting to see some watts come up. So maybe we'll start to see a little bit of attack. Most everybody should be well warmed up by now. Able to hold up an attack and answer to it. So now 200 meters to go. Should start to see the bridge here soon, the checkpoint. And there it is. Still no crazy attacks. So through the line, then you can see the results now. So Julia, another segment win, only by 1 second over Jessica M. And in third place, Angie Solgeo. So those are all individual riders. Top 4 individual riders. Rounding out the top 5 for Team Strong Girls is Faye Faber. So with segment 3 behind us, segment 4, of course, is next. We're starting here at the 11 kilometer mark. So I'll let the ladies sit in a little bit while they get ready for segment number 4. And I'm going to take a quick break and rejoin you guys real soon. So now we're back, just 400 meters to go till our Peloton group here, or chase pack, if you will, dives in to segment number 4. On the right side of the screen, you can see Julia from Germany. She's getting ready to cross the finish line for segment number 4. And of course, her name will pop straight up to the top of the list as she's the first one through. But of course, we have to see if any of these ladies can answer back and take a segment from her. They definitely have their work cut out for her. So through the start gate we go. Off the front, we have 3 ladies there. Their wattas are starting to pick up. Fiona Schroeder is leading us out so far. Lisa Bromwell right there in second, and Eveline. Not too far back is Karupe as well. So if these ladies want to take the segment from Julia, they're going to have to really put in a lot of work. Just about at the 500-meter mark, they can see the finish up ahead, just over the crest of that hill. Lisa Bromwell starting to pick up the watts here a bit. They put a pretty good gap on Catherine there from Switzerland and her pack. So the group's starting to break up ever so slightly. Only by about 2 or 3 seconds. Nothing they can't gain back. But we have Fiona and Lisa literally side by side. Their avatars are almost one there. So through the checkpoint they go. Let some of the other ladies come through, and we can start to see how the list is populated out, how the results are. So for, let's see, segment number 4, I think they're showing me number 3. There we go. Segment number 4, Faye Faber from Strong Girls, leading out over her teammate, Mandana Dakan, and third place, Spartan Obstacles, Catherine from Switzerland, and also from Spartan Obstacles, Karupe. And rounding out the top 5 is Angie, one of our solo individual riders today. Congratulations, Faye Faber, on taking over that stage 4, or excuse me, that segment number 4. We're now rolling back with the pack as they approach segment number 5 coming up. It's going to be our last 1 kilometer segment for today's race. Then we're going to dive into the 5 kilometer segments, being number 6 and 7. Be a lot of drafting, a lot of sprinting going on for that second place. So far, it looks like nobody's going to be able to touch Julia. She has come out of the gate swinging hard. She has put 1 minute and 43 seconds on the entire pack behind her. She is a machine, simply a machine so far. So really good efforts there from Julia. She is Julia from Germany. She's basically our Jason from our men's side, Jason Osborne, also from Germany. These 2 individuals are putting on a great showing for their country. Happy to have them within our series so far. They're both way up there in the esports world. So nice to see your name pop up on the screen today, Julia. And I hope your massive attack pays off. So far, it's looking pretty good. Going back to our chase group now, most of our ladies getting settled in. Stage number 5 is just about 600 meters away. So rolling on, 200 meters to go to the start. Segment number 5. Faye Faber's leading us out now. Teammate Fiona and Lisa Bromwell there as well. Strong group of girls there for sure. And so far, their team has been controlling most of the action here within the peloton. And now they're rolling through the start line for our last 1 kilometer segment of the day. So most of our riders now sticking together pretty well. 700 meters to go through this last little bit here through the jungle. Julia still well off in the front of this race. So 300 to go. They can see the finish line now. Still no major attacks happening just yet. It might take some time to recover and get ready for the longer segments coming up. Now coming through the line, it'll be Catherine followed by Lisa. We'll see what the timing charts have to say. So Duranzi from Las Colombias taking the win, segment number 5, 1 minute and 27 seconds, shortly behind from Spartan Obstacles. Catherine, 0.363 seconds behind. Or sorry, that's a tied time for Duranzi and Catherine. It's 0.363 for Faye Faber in third. And her teammate, Lisa Bromell, 0.394 back, followed by Fiona Schroeder and Angie, one of our individual riders. So top 5 there, separated by very, very small margins. So congratulations to Duranzi from Las Colombias. So we're just inside 4 kilometers to go to our first 5K segment of today, segment number 6. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, and I'll rejoin you guys just before the start of segment number 6. So now I'm back with you guys. Had a nice little water break there for myself. Back with the main group here. Currently led out by Lisa and Fiona. Of course, it's going to keep changing because everybody's nice and close together. But everybody's staying in a really good pace so far for today's Sunday Race Club. I haven't seen any major attacks aside from Julia, of course. But everybody else is looking quite nice. Julia's still on a major attack, putting out some crazy watt numbers. Really low cadence there. So she's pushing big gears for sure. She has now gone through the start gate for segment number 6. So she may be trying to get the overall win here for our first 5-kilometer segment. And our girls on the left are now just under a kilometer away from the start gate. The pace of the group now is slightly increasing. Speed keeps creeping up a little bit. Watts are creeping up. Nice to see everybody here in good form after our Winter Solstice Championship. So start gate up ahead here. Don't know if we'll see any attacks right off the bat. If we did, we'd probably start to see him now within the closing couple hundred meters of the start. The 5Ks is a long ways to go for an all-out sprint effort. Of course, not if your name is Julia. She's making it look easy over there. But now our girls roll through the start here. For the Queen of the Jungle segment, we'll see who gets to take the overall segment number 6. So far, everybody's sticking nice and tidy together. Pack speed, 27 Ks per hour. And we're just past the halfway point in today's Sunday Race Club. So almost a kilometer in now to segment number 6. No real moves happening. Julia Stillwell way out front. Pushing the same numbers though as the pack. So this could still be anybody's segment. We'll just have to see in the next few kilometers. But as of now, it looks like our chase pack is all sticking together, keeping their eyes on their data, getting into the last few sections of today's overall race. So now's a smart time to just sit back and draft. Conserve your energy for hopefully a good sprint finish to our women's race here for the Sunday Race Club. So now just checking back in. Julia still well up front. Over 2 minutes. I don't think anybody's going to be breaching that gap. And then with our main pack here on the left side of our screen, everybody's holding pretty good pace. No wild attacks to report at this time. But of course, we have all of the good names up in there in this group here. It seems like some other ladies have fallen off the back and formed smaller groups. But this is our main group here that we saw most of them come through and finish out our Winter Solstice Championship. So as I said before, really great to have you guys back with us today in the Sunday Race Club. Hopefully it fits your schedule a little bit better than the Friday Race Club. But again, it's nice to have everybody here. So now we're approaching 21.5 Ks. Still no wild attacks happening, and that's okay. Everybody's sticking together really well. Great thing about that kind of pack riding is if there is an attack, there's plenty of people around to go ahead and answer it, giving us a really good race. So we have Milena Valencia. She's on attack mode. This is what I was expecting to see from her earlier. She's all by herself, pushing some good watts. She's going to go ahead and try to get this segment number 6. We'll see who can answer that, if anybody. She's not that far ahead, so she might get absorbed right back into the pack there. Yeah, she starts to cool off. But it's not a bad tactic because she's covered some pretty good ground with that effort. And if she does that once or twice more, she could go ahead and have a really good result here for segment number 6. And we can see already, of course, Julia has already come through the line. So just under 2K to go now. This is the group of ladies that we need to keep our eyes on. This is where all the action is going to be happening. Start to see some moves being made now. Faye Faber working her way back up to the front of this group. Right there with Milena Valencia. Fiona Schroeder. They're all going to be having a few lead changes, I'm sure. Now we're inside the 1 kilometer mark, and we'll see if we'll see an attack from Milena Valencia. Or from anybody for that matter. So 800 meters to go now to the end of segment number 6, our first 5K stage segment for today. If someone wants to make a breakaway, now would be the time to do it for sure. So now just 400 meters to go, 300 now. So far leading us out. Karupe, Eveline. But everybody's still super close together. They might just roll through this one together. Doesn't seem like anyone's wanting to make crazy efforts. So cruising through the line now is their main group. Jessica coming through there. So it looks like Jessica takes the second position just underneath Julia from Germany. The total time of 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Third place, Strong Girls, Lisa Bromell from Germany, 8 minutes and 24, followed by her teammate Fiona Schroeder. And fifth place, Sofia Estrada. So now we have about 4 kilometers to the last segment of the day, segment number 7. Again, another 5-kilometer segment, starting here at kilometer number 28. And with that said, I'll go ahead and take another little break and rejoin you guys before we start segment number 7. So now I'm back, and we are now just, well, within under a kilometer to the start of our last segment number 7, starting just in about 600 meters, our last 5 kilometer stage of the day. It looks like we have short little burst here from Elena Valencia off the front. She just wants to cross that gate with a good speed. As I said in my past streams, kind of like motorsport racing, if you start your flying lap, you want to start it as fast as possible. So it's a pretty good strategy from Elena. But also now we have Karupe. Karupe is going to try to start off the segment first for our group here. So now they're putting out some good speed, some good watts now to start our final segment for the day. Following Mendana Decan right now in the middle of our pack. She's put on a great performance in the Solstice Championship as well. All of these ladies really did, honestly. Nice to have you guys all with us through all 7 stages. Looking forward to the next series event, of course. But today it's all about the Sunday Race Club. You guys are all looking great so far. See on the right side of our screen with Lydia there, they're in a little chase pack of their own. A few kilometers back though. But that could be a little segment hunting group. She's making some attacks and some surges. And then we have Melina Valencia. Keep going off the front there with Karupe. The girls are now pushing up their pace to try to catch up to them. Lisa Bromo leading out the chase pack there, bridging that gap up to Melina and Karupe. The group of girls is not going to let them get too far ahead. So now they've been absorbed back into the pack there. With Lisa Bromo, Jessica, Fiona Schroeder. They're all one big happy family again. Just about 3 kilometers to go now for segment number 7. And we're just inside the 5 kilometer window to the finish of today's Sunday Race Club. Girls are rolling through Old Town. Looks like the old cowboy towns where I'm from in Arizona. Nice to have a little Wild West scenery there going on. I think what these pack of ladies are doing is really smart, really sticking together, working together, pushing and pulling, taking a little bit of leads, a little bit of pulls here and there. Nobody's made any crazy attacks, except for Julia, of course. But there's no fun at the front of the race. This is where all the action's at. This is where all the fun's going to be. is within this pack of girls here. And this is the pack that'll give us exciting finishes to segment number 7 and hopefully the overall finish for today. Good overhead shot there of the pack. Now we're inside 2Ks to go to the finish of segment number 7. Unless your name's Julia, you are at the finish line of segment number 7. But of course, we're going to have to see which one of these ladies is going to pop up to the top of the times here once everybody has come through. See if anyone starts to put on some good attacks. So far, Julia has a time of 8 minutes flat. So we'll see who can better that result. And of course, these are all unofficial results. After today's race, don't forget to send in your fit files so our team can go ahead and analyze everything and make sure everything is fair and square. We put a lot of effort into fair and competitive racing here at MyWhoosh. And as all you guys know, those participating with us today, you guys are very much aware of that and hopefully appreciate it as much as we do. But here we are now within the last kilometer of segment number 7. Faye Faber leading us out so far. Everybody's still tightly packed in there. We'll see who's going to make an attack, if anybody, or if they're all just going to kind of cruise through, save the energy for a good sprint finish. We're well within 3 kilometers to go for the overall finish of today's Sunday Race Club. Now the ladies are going up. Nice climb here. 580 meters above sea level. Short little punchy climb to finish off segment number 4, or excuse me, segment number 7. I was going to say with 400 meters to go, but I got my words mixed up there a little bit. Catherine from Switzerland's leading everybody out over the hill. Now they have a nice little downhill to finish off the last 200 meters. So there's the checkpoint. Now with everybody through, we can start to see the times. First place for segment number 7, individual rider Jessica M. Total time of 7 minutes and 52 seconds, knocking out Julia big time by over 8 seconds. Second place, another individual rider, Eveline. Total time of 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Third place for strong girls, Fiona Schroeder. Fourth, individual rider, Angie. And fifth for strong girls, Faye Faber. So congratulations, Jessica M., on taking segment number 7. So now we're well within the last few kilometers of today's Sunday Race Club. Julia has crossed the line, taking the yellow jersey. Congratulations, Julia. But now we get to see who's going to be second, third, fourth, fifth with these pack of ladies here. They're all picking their pace up pretty good. I think we'll have to keep our eyes on Faye Faber and Lisa Bromell. I think they're due for a good finish today. Possibly even Melina Valencia. She hasn't gone for too many segment wins today, so maybe she has a lot left in the tank for a good sprint finish. But here we are now, 1 kilometer to go to the finish of Sunday Race Club for our women here. Speed slowly starting to increase. Around the 37 kilometer per hour mark. Flirting with the 300 watt range. So now 700 meters to go. Pace is still increasing for most everybody here. Jessica on an attack now. Could just be get right back up to the front of this group so she can make a good sprint. The group answered back to that attack pretty quick. The front of the race, though, it's Angie from Colombia putting out a really good attack here. Madonna Decan, followed by Lisa Brommel. We're in the last 300 meters to go. A lot of girls up there. Still anybody's race, really. Carupe's up in the mix as well. Melina Valencia now. Madonna Decan. There's a finish line up ahead. Let's see who's going to take second place. And it's going to be Evelyn, followed by Carupe, it looks like. Everybody came through so fast and pretty close together. We'll have to see. Yeah, so there we go. There's our overall for today's Sunday Race Club for our women. First place, Julia from Germany. Second place, Evelyn as an individual rider. And third place for Spartan Obstacles, Carupe from Colombia. Fourth place, Strongbow rider, Madonna Decan. Fifth place, Spartan Obstacles, Catherine from Switzerland. And for the CM women team, Melina Valencia. Seventh place, one of our individual riders again, Angie from Colombia. Eighth place, Lisa Bromell from Germany for Team Strong Girls. Ninth place, Jessica. And 10th place for Las Colombias, Dorancy. Really good race to all you ladies out there. Amazing performance by Julia there, of course. Not to go unmentioned. Of course, we like to watch really close racing, so we had a little bit more focus on our pack there, but does not take anything away from Julia's win today. So I think that was a very good first edition of our Sunday Race Club. We'll go ahead and sit back and watch a few more ladies come through the line here. So Sophia Estrada approaching the finish line. She's just 400 meters away. So there we have it. Sophia Estrada now coming through the line to finish off today's Sunday Race Club. And that's a wrap. So having a look overall again, individual Julia from Germany, she went ahead and took today's win for the first edition of the Sunday Race Club for our women. And with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. Really want to thank you guys for joining us. I hope all you ladies had a great race. Get some recovery time in and enjoy the rest of your Sunday wherever you are located in the world. Hope to see you guys here next week. And from all of us at MyWhoosh, thank you again and see you next time.